Yeah, I mean the whole group is disappointed in the result. We came up here with the intention of trying to get 3 points. I thought in the first half we were a little maybe slow, a little nervy to get started, and then I thought we really grew into the game. In the first half, created some goal scoring chances, and thought we probably deserved one. Second half, I thought we started okay, and then I think it wasn't one of our stronger finishes of the last couple of weeks here. Um, a little bit careless with the ball, a little bit not connecting a few passes to create offensive transition. Got pinned in a little bit, and an unfortunate end to the match, and don't get the result that we wanted.
Yeah, BJ, you kind of just touched on the second half. And I'm just kind of curious what you saw from New England. It felt like I guess it's just at this point of the season, everybody's fighting for playoff spots and they're at home and pushing for a result, like we talked about pre-match. But it felt like they just came out with significantly more intensity and kind of urgency than they showed in the first half. Do you feel like that's fair? And how do you feel like you guys reacted to that?
Yeah, I think it's a totally fair point and a good observation. I thought in the first half we were able to find pockets of space in the midfield. Sam was able to get on the ball. Hani was able to get on the ball in the midfield, turn and run at their back line. So I thought that was an effective sort of set of plays. In the second half, they were much more aggressive. Center backs were releasing hard into the pockets. Pressure was always on our back. I don't think we did a good enough job exploiting the space behind the back line. Especially guys from the in the defending and wide area, defensive line, wide areas. We had chances to play in behind that we missed, and then which led to some careless turnovers in the sort of middle third of the field, and they were able to sort of sustain attacks on us. That was where we began to win the ball was much deeper in our end, and it's always going to be more difficult to create those transitions. So yeah, I think they came out aggressive and we didn't exploit the spaces that were open.
Yeah, just kind of looking around the table, just feels like a lot. I mean, obviously this result, but then some of the other results are just around the Eastern Conference were kind of tough for you guys. What's kind of the priority now, looking forward at the last 3 games, and kind of has the message changed at all, or is it still kind of focusing on the same things that you guys have been working on this whole time?
Message doesn't change. We came here, we came here with an aggressive mindset to try and get 3 points. We know 3 points is our way to climb. I don't think chipping away at 1 point here and there is going to really, make a big difference at the end. So the risk reward of going for 3 versus holding on for 1, I think was a calculated risk that we tried to take. And with that, the message stays the same. We're going to have DC United here on Wednesday at home, and we're going to go. We have to go for 3 points. That's the only thing that we can control. We don't control the games around us. We don't control the table. We control our performances, our mentality, and we're going to go as long as we're fighting. We're going to fight. As long as we're alive, we're going to continue to fight.
It, is it easier or is it harder to regroup from a loss, especially one this crucial when you have 3 games before you play next, as opposed to maybe a full week before your next game?
I don't think things are easier or harder to get over. This result hurts tonight. So we're not happy with the way we played, and we're not happy with the result. But as professionals, we take a period of time to sort of process it, flush it, and we have no choice. But we're going to move on, and we're going to get the group sort of refreshed here. At the same time, look at things that went well, look through our phases of play, continue to go on a process. I would say each and every time, whether we win or lose, we're always learning, and so this is just another opportunity to learn and to build on what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, and obviously Randall Leal returned for I think his first game in first game for National over 5 months. Played about 10 minutes. I guess what do you see from him out there tonight, and what do you hope he can give you down the stretch for these last 3 games?
Yeah, I think there was a couple bright moments by Randall. Good clean touches in the pocket, had the shot from the top of the box. You can see the way he can combine through the middle of the field. That's what we want. We knew that we needed to have a spark off the bench when we were going to go for it, and we knew he was under limited minutes to play, but thought that it was worth sort of taking that chance. And it was he almost created something. So that's what we hope for him to continue throughout the rest of the season. And as he continues to work hard in training and build his fitness and build his sort of game legs, we expect bigger and brighter things.
Yeah, BJ, we always see in every game players talking to the referees, being annoyed or angry at the referees, I guess. But it felt like tonight it was happening more so than usual, even before the goal calls and all that. And then obviously at the end, 2 goals getting disallowed. From your perspective, was there anything different about the refereeing tonight, or was it just another day?
No, I think in any game, we're down here at the end of the season, and every little play matters. And so any little play that can go your way or go against you has a big impact in the game. I think the one moment that we had on the field that maybe got us all upset was just Alex, with the trainer coming on and not coming on. Maybe there was a little bit of miscommunication, and we had to play down for 2 minutes. So I think that was sort of more the bigger issue throughout. But across the game, you're always expected that you think a few calls should have gone for you, and you probably think a few too many go against you.
Yeah, and I have just 2 players to ask about. One wasn't involved tonight, and one hasn't been involved the last 2 games, and that's Drew Yearwood and Jonathan Perez. Are any of those injury related, or if there's any updates on them, that'd be great.
Yeah, so Johnny was just a coach's decision. No injury or anything. We obviously we carried an extra center back tonight just because we had Jack was carrying a little bit of a knock. We didn't know if he could go, so that was just a coach's decision. And then Drew is still coming through his I would say the rehab sort of protocol. So he's expected to play for Huntsville tomorrow. And we hope, with him playing against Huntsville and getting a couple more trainings, he'll be available for selection for us, maybe as soon as Wednesday, hopefully by Saturday, and moving forward.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, obviously we walk away disappointed not to be able to get a result. We're in the game up till the end there. Obviously came in wanting and needing 3 points. So I think first and foremost, a little bit of disappointment to not walk away with any. But yeah, it was a hard night for us. Couldn't string a lot together and build out. Kind of prevented them from some major chances. Didn't feel like they had too much actual scoring opportunities. They did have a lot more of the ball, it felt like. And it was a very open game, especially first half, just a lot of transition. So yeah, that was pretty much the game, was a lot of transition. How well you can, create moments from those opportunities.
Hey, Walker, I asked BJ a similar question. It felt like New England came out just with a ton more kind of urgency and intensity in the second half. Part of that is probably just kind of the stage of the season that you're in. But what did you kind of make of how they came out in the second half, and I guess how you guys responded to that?
To be honest, I don't think it was much different than how they came out in the first half. We knew that they were going to kind of press and prevent us from trying to make combinations inside of them. And so I felt like they did the same in the second half. Kind of made it hard to build out through the middle of the field, and did a good job of pressing up high. I think at times we did really good combinations in the middle to break through. And when those came off, we pretty much walked away with a scoring chance. On the flip side, they did create a lot of turnovers when we tried to build out through the center part of the field. And that's what opened us up a little bit at times. So kind of that's the give or take that you have when you try and string things together. We probably could have done a bit better job of choosing our moments of when to stretch them out, how to better find overloads, and switch the point of the attack a little bit better. But yeah, they did a good job of pressing, and the urgency, to your point, I think is, that was reflected in their energy and willingness to press and take chances out of the field.
Yeah. Walker, again, this is another question I asked BJ right before this, but, do you feel it's easier or harder, or does it really not make a difference just how much time you have to regroup from this loss? Just is it easier or harder just when you only have 3 games before your next game as opposed to closer to like a full week?
I think there are pros and cons to both. The pro would obviously be you can wipe away this loss, regroup, refocus, know that there's just not much time to prepare, and you just gotta focus on the recovery side of things and don't dwell on a loss too long. The con is obviously the physical recovery, but we know that they're also doing the same thing, so that kind of cancels out. So I think at this point in the season, I mean, we're not naive to know that we have to get 3 points probably in all 3 of these games, and that has to be our mentality, and that was the mentality we had tonight. And so we know that we got to be clicking on all cylinders, not only just Wednesday, but the next 2 games after that. So yeah, I think it's good that we have a quick turnaround to kind of get back to it. I mean, there's no other option now, and I'm still proud of the way that we have evolved in the past couple months. I think there's been a lot of positivity to come out of our last few games, even when the results don't go our way. So it's not all dead and gone when we lose. I think there are still things we can take away, and things that we have already improved on drastically over the past few months. So it's about now got to get a result in these next 3 games.
Hey Walker, BJ mentioned earlier this week the turf and how sometimes it could be hard for guys to play on the turf. Do you view that as a factor tonight, I guess, all things considered?
I don't really think it's a factor in terms of outcomes of games. I think it has more to do on how you recover physically. It can take a little bit more of a toll on your joints sometimes. I think that sometimes you just have to get used to the ball and how it bounces a little bit more. But in terms of it dictating results, I don't really buy into it too much. But it is a slight adjustment, just trying to pick up in the early stages of the game how it's skipping, how it's moving on the ground, and that can help weight of the passes. But at this point in our career, if you've been in MLS for a while, you've played plenty of games on turf, and thankfully now in New England they have some better turf than they used to. So yeah, all in all, it's kind of a non-factor at this point.